Beowulf, translated by Lesslie Hall. Book 19. Beowulf receives further honour. A beaker was born him, and bidding to quaff it, graciously given, and gold that was twisted, pleasantly proffered, a pair of arm jewels, rings and corselet, of collars the greatest I've heard of 'neath heaven. Of heroes not any more splendid from jewels have I heard 'neath the welkin, since Hama off-bore the Brosingman's necklace. The Bracteats and jewels from the bright shining city, your Menric's cunning craftiness fled from, chose gain everlasting. Geatish Higelac, grandson of Swearting, last had this jewel, when tramping 'neath banner the treasure he guarded. The field spoil defended, fate off-carried him, when for deeds of daring he endured tribulation, hate from the Frisians. The ornaments bare he, o'er the cup of the currents, costly gem treasures, mighty folk leader, he fell 'neath his target. The corpse of the king then came into charge of the race of the Frankmen. The mail shirt and collar, warmen less noble, plundered the fallen. When the fight was finished, the folk of the Geatmen, the field of the dead, held in possession. The choicest of mead halls with cheering resounded. Wealhtheow discoursed, the war troop addressed she. This collar enjoy thou, Beowulf worthy, young man in safety, and use thou this armour, gems of the people, and prosper thou fully. Show thyself sturdy, and be to these liegemen mild with instruction. I'll mind thy requital. Thou hast brought it to pass that far and near, for ever and ever, earthmen shall honour thee, even so widely as ocean surroundeth the blustering bluffs. Be while thou livest a wealth-blessed atheling. I wish thee most truly jewels and treasure. Be kind to my son, thou living in joyance. Here each of the nobles is true unto other, gentle in spirit, loyal to leader. The liegemen are peaceful, the war troops ready. Well-drunken heroes, do as I bid ye. Then she went to the settle. There was choicest of banquets, wine drank the heroes. Weird they knew not, destiny cruel. As to many an earlman, early it happened, when evening had come, and Hrothgar had parted, off to his manor, the mighty to slumber. Warriors unnumbered warded the building, as erst they did often, the ale-settle bared they. 'Twas covered all over with beds and pillows. Doomed unto death, down to his slumber, bowed then a beer-thane. Their battle-shields placed thee, bright shining targets, up by their heads then, or the atheling on ale-bench. 'Twas easy to see there, battle-high helmet, byrnie of ring-mail, and mighty war-spear. 'Twas the wont of that people to constantly keep them equipped for the battle, at home or marching, in either conditions, at seasons just, such as necessity ordered, as best for their ruler, that people was worthy. Book 20. The Mother of Grendel. They sank then to slumber, with sorrow one paid for his evening repose, as often betid them, while Grendel was holding the gold-bedecked palace, ill deeds performing, till his end overtook him, death for his sins. 'Twas seen very clearly, known unto earthfolk, that still an avenger outlived the loathed one. Long since the sorrow caused by the struggle, the mother of Grendel, devil-shaped woman, her woe ever minded, who was held to inhabit the horrible waters, the cold-flowing currents, after Cain had become a slayer with edges to his one only brother, the son of his sire. He set out then banished, marked as a murderer, man-joys avoiding, lived in the desert. Thence demons unnumbered, fate-sent awoke, one of them Grendel, sword-cursed, hateful, who at Heorot met with a man that was watching, waiting the struggle, where a horrid one held him with hand-grapple sturdy. Nathless he minded the might of his body, the glorious gift God had allowed him. The folk-ruling father's favour relied on, his help and his comfort. So he conquered the foeman, the hell-spirit humbled. He unhappy departed then, reaved of his joyance, journeying to death haunts, foeman of man. His mother, moreover, eager and gloomy, was anxious to go on her mournful mission, mindful of vengeance for the death of her son. She came then to Heorot, where the armour-dane earlmen, all through the building, were lying in slumber. Soon there became then return to the nobles, when the mother of Grendel entered the folk hall. The fear was less grievous, by even so much as the vigour of maidens, war-strength of women by warrior is reckoned. When well-carved weapon, worked with the hammer, blade very bloody, brave with its edges, strikes down the boar sign that stands on the helmet. Then the hard-edged weapon was heaved in the building, the brand o'er the benches, broad lindens many, handfast were lifted, for helmet he recked not, for armour net broad, whom terror laid hold of. She went then hastily, outward would get her life for to save, when someone did spy her. Soon she had grappled one of the aethelings, fast and firmly, when fenward she hied her. That one to Hrothgar was liefest of heroes, in rank of retainer where waters encircle, a mighty shield warrior, whom she murdered at slumber, a broadly famed battle knight. Beowulf was absent, but another apartment was erstwhile devoted to the glory-decked Geatman when gold was distributed. There was hubbub in Heorot. The hand that was famous she grasped in its gore. Grief was renewed then, in homes and houses. 'Twas no happy arrangement in both of the quarters to barter and purchase with lives of their friends. Then the well-aged ruler, the grey-headed war-thane, was woeful in spirit, when his long-trusted liegeman, lifeless he knew of, his dearest one gone. Quick from a room was Beowulf brought, brave and triumphant. As day was dawning in the dusk of the morning, went then that earlman, champion noble, came with comrades, where the clever one bided, whether God all-gracious would grant him a respite after the woe he had suffered. The war-worthy hero, with a troop of retainers, trod then the pavement, the hall-building groaned, till he greeted the wise one, the Earl of the Ingwins, asked if the night had fully refreshed him, as fain he would have it.